Hey, welcome to the Backyard Professor Chess videos. I'm wearing bright red today. I must be angry. You know, the psychoanalyst and the psychic analyst and the psychoids and the psychos and the freaks say that the psychology of someone who wears red is they're angry, they're mean, they're vicious. So let's do some angry, mean, vicious chess and let's have fun with it. You know, the problem with the psychoanalyst view of wearing red means you're mad is I'm too happy to be mad. I'm happy because I get to make great videos for you guys and enjoy Bobby Fischer's games. Okay, this is the fourth tournament game of our beloved Bobby Fischer. He's challenging a man named Warner, a kid. This is 1955. They're still 12-year-olds, right? This was... Oh, I didn't write it down. I didn't write down what tournament it was. Darn me anyway. What's this one? Oh, that's number 5, number 4. Okay, yeah, number 4. So let's just get on to it. This was a different tournament. It wasn't the U.S. Junior Championship. He is somewhere in Ohio or Texas or wherever. Alaska. No, I'm kidding about Alaska. He wasn't in Alaska on this one. Anyway, so we're on the Sicilian defense. Fischer is playing the white. Knight c6 and d4 and c takes d4 immediately, of course. Good Sicilian. Knight takes d4. Good Sicilian. Knight f6. Good development. Knight c3. Good development. d6. Good to bump it up. Open up to the bishop here. Bishop e2. Getting ready to castle. g6. He's going to fianchetto. Bishop e3, he's still bringing it on, baby, bringing it on. Bishop g7, and now f3. Good old f3. And he castles. Castle up. Queen d2. So you can see this particular one is all about development. I mean, let's get going, let's get it on. The bump here, my suspicion is because his knight, he's got a bishop and a bishop and a queen and a knight and a knight. He could put together a pretty fatal queenside attack pretty quick if black isn't real careful. So that bump makes sense. Yeah. And Fischer will castle queen side, gives him the partial file automatically without losing the tempo. Queen a5. Here comes the lady marching out. King b1. Ben Feingold in his videos online. He's in the St. Louis Chess Club. Great guy to watch. I love him. He says, if you're going to castle queenside, I mean, this is straight from a grandmaster, the next thing you do is put your king on b1. Yeah. That is the correct, you got to move that king 1 over. Yeah. Now you're okay castling. Otherwise, they're going to break into that queenside real quick. Just a simple, quick, preventative move. So I'm just passing that along from Ben Feingold's excellent wisdom. Black goes rook, d8, g4. Here comes the pawns. Here comes the pawns. Knight will exchange the knight, the central knight. Bishop takes, target against one of the guardians of the king, just keeping his eye on it, not necessarily attacking it yet, but just keeping his eye on it. Bishop to e6, queen to e3, and knight d7. He's going to try to regroup. f4, okay. I think the intention of Fischer here is pretty clear. Strong pawn movement, gaining lots of space, but it could become a pawn roller. So now, if and when this is happening to us, we must pay attention to this. Now it's to the point to where you can't say, oh yeah, but maybe in a couple more moves. No. Right now. That's big. It really is big. You gotta pay attention here, because he's going to keep pushing pawns. The idea is he's going to destroy the king side. He'll attack the king side with the pawns, and all he has to do is push a rook over and a rook over. The bishop's back in here. The queen's behind the pawns. The knight can easily be behind the pawns. With the pieces behind the pawns, use the pawns as the battering ram and filter through this and make this look like Swiss cheese and go get the king. So if this is happening to you, sit up. Stay alert. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you know. Let's see. Bishop. Now this is interesting. When you feed Kettle and castle, king side, the bishop really is a strong guardian of your king, along with that knight, when you have the knight here. Well, he takes his guardian and he exchanges the bishop here in the center. And queen will take. Yeah. Strong center. Hey, look, black isn't weak in the center. The queen gives us to think, well, I mean, you got the partial file too. Yeah, Fischer's position looks stronger in the center at this point. But black is not fleeing the center, or he's not just giving it to him. Black's, at this point, the influence is holding its own. I think white is better at this point in the center, but black is not slouching. And now, he puts the knight to f6, and you go, well, I mean, your opponent is not pushing this many pawns to have a pawn phalanx attacking you for nothing. That's not decoration. He's going to keep coming. So putting your knight in line of fire with the pawns, that's gutsy. I don't know if it's strategically sound, but it's gutsy. Right? That's kind of Muller's kind of hint. And innuendo, he goes, well, all right. I don't know if I would have done that, but sure enough, Fischer's pushing the f5. Now this, of course, is going to put the white squared bishop of black in a cramped position. It's going to back him up at least. Yeah, he's got this side to play on, but this side is what he has to pay attention to, because he's going to start opening things up here. So you gotta be careful here. And now Fischer even pushes the h4 pawn. I mean, seriously, that's pure pawn oomph there. He's attacking with pawns. I guess he's figuring, I want to see what my pawns are capable of. Bishop comes to b5, hitting the bishop here. Bishop f3, again, the pieces backing up the pawns is the ideal way to attack. If you're going to attack with the pawns, that's how to do it right there. Not just the pawns alone, but pawns with the pieces behind them. And that is from the wisdom of Artur Yusupov, who almost knows what he's talking about. I was being sarcastic, I promise. You can't go wrong studying Artur Yusupov. Just my biased opinion. And the rook here comes to his partial open file. Okay, so, and he's fully developed now. All the pieces in. Fischer goes ahead and exchanges the bishop with the knight. Opens up the A file for black. Fischer pushes the h5. See, he's kind of playing both sides somewhat, but this is going to be his main. This is going to be his main baby right here. And then, bam, target. Yeah, black's got targets. Nice use of a partial file, and it really does give him a good cross across with the pawns that are behind, showing us that the wisdom from pushing so many pawns is keep pieces behind them because you can be attacked. Right? I'm just saying. Your position won't be destroyed. Your effort won't be in vain. So anyway, now what do you do? What do you do? Oh my gosh, the queen is in trouble. Well, you got to get her out of trouble. In this instance, that's something you can't ignore. At this point, with this particular position, you have to react. And then rook goes to A8 on the file, straight for the king, and you're going, it was games like this, of course. I mean, I sound like I'm going to give you high, exalted, ancient wisdom from the ancient mystics and seers, and I'm just flapping my lips. The king looks pretty lonely here. We've seen this before. And the problem with that is the rook's over here, the queen's over here, and the rook's over here. Bobby's stuff is way over here. So, his kingside attack is actually being refuted by Black's queenside attack, because there's no one protecting Fischer's king. When you see your opponent's king somewhat lonely, go get him. That's what we're witnessing here happening to the great Bobby Fischer in his youth. Very interesting. And that move is forced. Yeah, if you want to keep playing this game, you better at least bump the pawn. But realize, hey, oops. I got to pay attention more. I'm done over here. I didn't make it. I got to come over here now. Which means what? That Fischer doesn't have the initiative here. Yeah. He is, because he ends up reacting to his opponent. So his opponent has the initiative. Watch how that plays out. When you can gain the initiative, yeah, one more bump up, yeah, now you've got target and a beautiful fork. Yeah, he's covered, but the point is, there's a target. Ooh, 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 ooh. So Fischer bumps C3. The problem is the position now for attack is way too strong with Black. And he shows it. Knight takes E4. Attacking the central pawn to get to the king side. That's great chess. That is really good chess. True, true. See, once again, that theme that will come over and over and over again. The cool thing about going through all of Fischer's tournament games, 735 of them, is by the time we're done viewing all this stuff, and by the time I've yacked my fool head off for 2 years discussing Fischer, we will see, we will hopefully have developed the psychology here and here, the psychology that to sacrifice a piece for a pawn to open a position, that's what we want to psychologically get to. When it's appropriate, of course. You can't just throw all your pieces out there at pawns, sacrifice them like a madman. No. It's got to be systematic and analytic, but this one is one such. Because watch what this does. Now, the rook takes E4. Target. Yeah. Not only does he have a great horizontal or a vertical, he's got a wonderful, wonderful horizontal attack. And he's got another target with the queen. So the knight sacrifice to get to a target like that, see the effect here. That's why we want to build our psychology through seeing, okay, I would be willing to do that if I knew how. That's why we want to go through Bobby Fischer's tournament games, because he knew how. He learned how, and he showed us how. So we're going to use his Grandmaster games as a way to help our psychology. That's the intent right there, baby. All right, what's he do? Well, he does come to H6. Now it looks like, hey, wait a minute, Fischer's going to get a kingside attack anyway. And he is, if black doesn't play his cue right, but he does play his cue right. Rook e2. Nice. 7th rank. Notice that again. This theme will come up often in Fischer's games. In this case, it's against him, but we will see in the later, more mature Fischer, this will play out time and again. It has to, or he's not playing good chess. Fischer, in his youth, said, well, I will refute it thusly. So the rook exchanges. It does bring Bobby's queen back into this game, protecting the king. That's true, but the problem here is now we have an absolutely gorgeous tactic. Check with the queen, hitting the rook. So Bobby resigned this one. He just got outplayed here. It's an interesting lesson to see that if you are being attacked on the king's side, with the benefit of understanding the 3 pillars, central, influence and control, rooks on files and using them, and targets with the intent of improving our position, you can actually take the steam out of someone attacking you and end up ending up with the initiative. That's a fabulous lesson to see. We see this done to Bobby Fischer. He will, in time in his chess career, turn this absolutely 180 degrees so that he is the one playing like black did here. Turning the initiative and taking control himself. That's what we want to find out. So it's fun, isn't it? Okay, there's your chess game. We're up for, I've got it on the back here, number 5. And this game, this next game, is a Lulu for a 12-year-old to play. Wow, you want to watch this next one also. All right, be good. Ooh, that was with the left hand, sorry. Right hand, you moron. Oh, and always keep your thumb in when you... Crisp, clean. Anyway, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. That's just all there is to it.